of this is that even if people cannot join like afterwards, they send the recording, and a lot of times people are like signing up just so they get the recording, in terms of like, this time doesn't work for me, but I really like the topic. Yeah, go ahead.
I said that works for me too.
Right? And inside the community, like we have all the recordings, and then like people can, like even if they join like a month from now, they still have access to these things. And everybody asks like, where should I get started? I'm like, wow, all the topics are so different. But if you're a business owner, I'm sure there's one that like catches your eye more than the other one. So
yes.
Hi, Dimitri, can you hear us? Yes, thumbs up. Perfect.
Perfect. And the emojis are working.
And the emojis.
Working
with the next person, we'll have to test the chat. Hi. We're gonna wait just one more minute, just in case, and see if somebody sent me an email, because sometimes people have troubles with this. And then we'll get started.
Perfect.
Okay. Anyhow, this may be a very like private session today, but we know that everybody's gonna get the knowledge later. So feel free to speak like you have like a bigger room in front of you, and because people are gonna see it later. And then probably I have a lot of questions, so I'm gonna tap into all of those. Dimitri, I'm referring to you because at least for now, we're only alone in the room, but I'm Nuria. I'm the founder of Meet More Doers, the community that we put together here today. And of course, we do expert sessions like this. We're so grateful that Tina is coming today. I'm so excited to see if we are building the wrong business. But also besides that, we have other expert sessions to help you grow your business, learn more about either marketing, AI, anything like this. And we also have an online community on Slack to have contact with all of like these other doers and builders. And then we also host events in person, which for now we've done Chicago, we've done Lisbon, we've done London, and we're soon gonna start with Miami and New York. So I'm very excited for all of those. Without further ado, Tina, the floor is yours.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for much for letting me talk about this topic, because I could talk about this all day, but I'm going to try and keep it to at least less than an hour today. I will share my story a little bit throughout because I think experience is more important than what my bio could ever tell you. But I have 26 years of being in business and working with other business owners to really help them build a business that is ideal for your life. So today, specifically, we're talking about 5 different signs, or you'll see that I am showing them more in lenses of how to look at your own business and see if you're building in the right way or potentially in the wrong way. And really, it's about all the other things that business owners over the years I've noticed are not always focused on. So we're not going to talk about the obvious things today that actually run a business. These are the things that most people are not thinking about when running a business. And I'll share with you why they're important. And I want this to be very interactive with those that we have here today, and for anyone watching on replay. The last part of it, if you stay to the end, does have my contact information. So I am here for all the questions. I love this stuff. I am at the point in my life where I'm just literally here to teach and honestly, work myself out of a job, because if every business owner knows this stuff at some point, that is part of my legacy. So here we go. Before we get into the 5 areas that I want you to look at, I really want to sit with this question with you. If someone handed you your exact business today, so here I am handing it to you, and they had to work the same hours that you are, had the same responsibilities, same clients, customers, like it was literally what your business looks like today, and gave it to you, would you buy it? I see some heads shaking no. That's usually the answer. So this alone, like we could probably stop right here and say, why would you not want to buy your own business? And those are probably the things that you need to work on first, right? Because what I've seen over the decades of working with owners and helping them grow and scale and be the business and the owner that they want, a lot of times we're focused on those traditional metrics like revenue and maybe even profit and more sales and those type of things. When really my whole mission is to help business owners have a business that actually funds their life. And most business owners have a life. They think, I want to have some freedom, time, financial freedom is why most of us start a business in the first place. But then as we get successful, the business ends up being the thing that we focus on and our life gets whatever's left over. And so if you kind of feel like that, or you even feel a little bit torn, you are in the norm. But I'm here to help give you just those 5 areas to look at today that maybe in 12 months, if you ask yourself this question again, you can feel a little bit more confident about it. Okay? So that's the kind of the premise that we're going to talk about today. So, like I said, most owners are looking at the traditional scores like revenue, and they think, and I hear this all the time, like, I'm building to X revenue. Maybe it's the first 6 figures, maybe it's 7 figures, some are beyond. They're almost always focused on revenue, but these are the 5 lenses that we're going to talk about today. Number 1 is time. It's your most precious asset that you could possibly own, business or otherwise, right? Because you don't have control over that 24 hours. You can't make more of it. So, and again, like I said, most people are building a business because they want to have more free time, more personal time. So we're going to look through the lens of time. We're going to look through the lens of legacy. Now, when I actually work with someone one-on-one, one of the very first things I do is ask them obituary. And yes, that sounds a little bit morbid, but it's actually kind of like those old ad libs. If you're older like me and you remember what the ad libs are. And the reason to fill that stuff in is because I really want you to think about, what am I building this business for? No obituary says, hey, Tina built a multi-million-dollar company and she had, 200 employees. That's not in anyone's obituary. But the way that someone provides for their community, the way that someone treated other people, the way that someone raised their family, right? Those are the things that really is underneath of why you're building this business in the first place. And most of us don't think about that. Matter of fact, I just got goosebumps because like the conversations that I've had with new clients is always like taking a step back and go, I actually want to be the employer of choice in my hometown, right? Or it's different for everyone, but it's not revenue, it's not profit. Those don't go into your legacy. So first, we're going to think about why we're doing all this, because we know entrepreneurship is not easy every day. The other lens that we're going to look at is money. Again, time and money is why most of us start a business. But a lot of times as our business becomes more successful, the distance between having our personal finances and our business finances connected gets wider. So that's where your business should be providing your personal life with finances and not just today. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Business value is something that most people are also not really thinking about. And I hear this all the time, like, oh no, Tina, I'm not thinking about an exit. I just got started, or I've got, I'm 30 and I've got years before I retire. We're going to talk about why business value is important from day one. Or if you haven't been thinking about it, why today as a new starting point is where business value and why it's important to be thinking about that. And then also protection. I have some stories of my own and I have stories of clients that will make you a little bit nervous. But the point of that is because if we're not protecting one of our biggest assets, which is your business, you could lose everything in the blink of an eye, and people have. And so Again, most of us are thinking like, gosh, I just need to get through next week or next hire or this, next little push of our season, whatever it is. But we need to be also thinking about protecting everything that you're working on. So revenue matters, growth matters, but really these 5 lenses are even bigger parts of the picture. Okay. So let's talk about that first lens. The first thing we're going to ask you is your business creating more freedom? Are you feeling it in your personal life? Do you see a path to that? Because it doesn't happen on day one either. But do you see a path to more freedom in your personal life because you're building a business? Okay, I see some heads shaking. Here's some things to examine through this first lens. And yes, feel free to use the chat as I see some are doing. What to examine? Your calendar actually reflects your priorities, not other people's. This happens even to the best of us, me included. So does your calendar show what is most important for the next, period of time? As a cheat sheet, I actually have my calendar color coded, so I can look at it in a day and I know that I don't move reds. Yellows are scheduled calls. Even some of my calls, whether they're revenue generating or just a regular call, I know exactly by taking a glance at my calendar from the colors and knowing exactly what's important, what can move and what can't move, and where to make sure that I'm not late type of thing. So your calendar is kind of your go-to every day. So let's make sure that it reflects your actual priorities. Owner dependency, we're going to talk a little bit about this in the business value as well. But if you are the main point of a business that everything flows through, that business, you are the liability. Unless you're intentionally building a one-person business, and we call that a lifestyle business, and that's perfectly okay because you will be doing the majority of the things. And AI will be able to help you do some tactical things as that continues to develop. But if you're looking to build something that you can sell someday, one of the biggest things that you want to work on is getting yourself out of the business, because that's one of the first things besides financials that a buyer would pay for. And they pay premium the more you're not involved in the business. This is where we put our ego on a shelf in a closet somewhere. Okay? That goes back to that first question. Would you buy your own business today? Right? We all have decision fatigue. So kind of look at that when you're thinking about your time and where you're using it. And again, your time is limited. Because again, if you're building a business and really focusing on your personal life, whether you have a family or other sports, maybe you just even want to golf and have that dead brain space shooting a little ball. I golf on Tuesdays. So it actually can cause some more grief if you're a golfer. But at least you're not thinking about business during those times. So I want you to ask yourself in this lens of, am I building the right business? Could you unplug for 2 weeks? If the answer is no, then you would ask yourself the next question, right? What would need to change, and in what period of time could you actually be able to take a 2-week vacation or 2-week break? Okay. And where exactly are you the bottleneck in the business? Now, the great thing with AI coming out is there are things where you can have staff, if you will, agents that we would have had to hire outside, and hire a human being. And regardless of how you feel about AI and replacing jobs, you can either hire real life people or you can set up some of these systems and help you remove some of these things from your workload. Because again, just from your own sanity and from your business value and from operational, that's where you want to remove yourself from being the person that has to do that. I have to see how I can also see chat.
I can read it for you.
Okay.
Marta says, when I think of a 2-week vacation, it's because I worked those 2 weeks in advance.
Okay, so are we really getting, that's a great point. Exactly. So, or we come back and we have one of those 2 weeks that we are now cramming and working is 60, 70 hour weeks. So that's a start. I think that is at least you're able to go and take some of that break. But yes, we want to get to the point where we're truly taking a mental break and a physical break from our business. Good point though, Marta. Love it. And then again, on your calendar. So those are just, there's lots of things to think about in time, but I tried to give you like actionable steps for each of these lenses today of where you can do a little analysis and have a little takeaway. And so make the notes as you can on each of these, and then we're going to pick 1 or 2 or 3, no more than 3 for you to work on after, because you can't do it all, because then you're going to have decision fatigue, just like we're talking about here. So that was time. Let's talk about money. One of this 2 of the 5 lenses. So the question here to ask yourself is your business building income, revenue, profits in your business, or is it building you wealth? And here's where also I want to go on record to say wealth for a lot of people is some number in their head. For some people, it might be 6 figures. Some people it's a couple million. Some people it's, the 1% of the world. Wealth, in my definition, is whatever it takes for you to have freedom. So I know people who are in a low income bracket, but have the freedom, they sleep well at night, they, have money in the bank that if their furnace goes out, they are not in a financial challenge. They are feeling wealthy. Wealthy is a state of mind, in my opinion. And I know multimillionaires who have no money in the bank would be fearful if they had to spend a $5,000, something happens in the house or needs to replace something. They're driving fancy cars, their kids are in private school, and they have a fancy house. Their bank account, for most people, would say, oh, they're wealthy. Or their income, right? Their lifestyle looks like they're wealthy. That's not wealth to me. So I want you to think about in your own life what wealth would be. Exactly. Thank you, Dimitri. I caught part of that anyway. Wealth is a different definition for every single person that is on this call today, right? And it's different times of your life too. I'm in my 50s. My kids are all grown. I don't have the expenses that I did when kids are expensive. And, especially when they're travel soccer, and then you're paying for part of their college, if not all. And so like different times of your life, you're going to have different expenses. And that's where we start thinking about, is your business building your personal wealth? Now, I will also share that in my first business 26 years ago, I left, and this was in 2000, I was making about $45,000 a year. So back in 2000, it was decent money. But I went down to $500. But the $500 a month, by the way, was what I was living on when I started my first business. And that's okay, because I had the mentality of paying myself first. I couldn't pay myself. The business didn't have profitability to replace my income. But I knew to make sure that I paid myself before I reinvested into the business and had, continued to spend that money. So when we think about money as a lens, I want you to think about, number 1, paying yourself first. Revenue, and do you have a decision maker between, let's say you make $100,000 in your business in profit in the next 12 months. How much of that are you reinvesting in the business? How much are you taking home to your personal wealth? And is that going in retirement? Is that going in today's lifestyle? Is that going in a bucket somewhere in between? because we're going to do different things with that, depending on where you want to use that, right? And what I see is that a lot of owners either reinvest all but the minimum that they take home, and it just keeps going back into the business, and then they don't have retirement, and they're waiting on selling this business as their asset to hopefully someday close that retirement gap. Or like the family that I shared before, they're taking almost every profit out of the business and over here spending it in their current life, don't have anything saved. And there is no right or wrong, but we need to be thinking about today's financial in our personal life all the way through beyond retirement. And side note, I heard the other day on a podcast that if you can live for the next 10 years, you're going to live to over 120 based on the medical technology, all the things that are happening right now, which is scary. That's a whole nother thought. But being that I thought I was closer to retirement and, only had another couple decades to live, I don't know that I want to live to 130. But if you did, that probably changes your financial situation, right? I have 3 out of 4 of my grandparents lived into their 90s. That's what I'm planning on. So that's kind of where you think about where you're at, where your money's being spent. Your freedom figure, that I call it and that I work through with clients, is figuring out how much your business needs to be worth when you go to sell it or exit. That then funds that gap of wherever you're at today and where you want to be. Or if you already have that gap closed, what are we going to do with that money when you do sell? And then just like Dimitri said, investing outside. Are we diversifying? Because I don't remember what the stat is, but it's staggering, really high percent of how many businesses are their number one asset. So if they looked at what their retirement, what their financial situation was without being able to sell, they're very far away from being able to live the same lifestyle for years to come. So we also want to make sure that your business isn't your biggest asset unless you have a really clear plan for that. And on a side note, we do have one of the things that we work with is all those professionals. So when any of these things that we're talking about today, if you're like, gosh, I don't have a financial advisor or I'm not really sure what to do with that, that's where you can shoot me an email and we can connect you with some of these professionals because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't sell insurance or anything like that. So if you have those questions, feel free to shoot me an email and we'll help you with those. Get you some resources. Next lens, number 3, is this business value that we've been talking about. And we asked that question in the beginning for some of you that came in a little bit later. Would someone want to own the business that you're building right now? And it's not about selling, it's about being able to transfer. And I will share a little bit of the short story of my history and why I do what I do today. I started 26 years ago, my very first business. And I did that because I was pregnant with my first child. And I wanted to be a certain kind of mom. And I was in corporate America. This was back in 1999. There was no such thing as remote working. So even though I asked and they said, no, you have to work 40 hours a work week. So I sought out to see how I could start a business, thinking that would be just like most people, it would provide me the financial security and be able to have that flexible time as I was building my family. And it worked for years, even had my son 3 years later. And for those first couple of years, I had great flexibility, but the business kept growing. It was successful. And this is where I talk about whose success are you building? Because I was winning awards. I was then helping other businesses in the same industry. I was traveling for business, but I was missing my kids' bedtimes. I was gone on the weekends. And it was finally a straw that broke my back was that I missed a Christmas. I had to go in on a Christmas morning. My business was 24/7. And someone called in sick on a Saturday on Christmas morning. And there I had young kids not understanding why I had to leave. So I thought, I'm not cut out for this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to sell my business. And I went through the next 9 months or so it took. I had a buyer, went through all the due diligence, and they backed out the night before the sale was to be closed. I was mentally checked out. I was ready to go back to corporate America. But yeah, exactly. My advice there is the deal is not closed. You probably have heard until the ink is signed, but I actually say till the money's in the bank, because we were literally 12 hours from signing. And that was a crossroads for me. And I am so thankful that that happened, because I had a choice that next 48 hours of like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do? Because I wasn't even thinking about the business anymore. I thought I was done. I didn't care. It was going to be someone else's problem. But I realized at that point, I either could go through all of that trauma of finding another buyer, going through due diligence all over again. And frankly, I wasn't going to make much money. I was just at least covering the loans that I had in the business. Or I could figure out how the hell people do this. Like, I knew people were successful and had a life. I saw it. I just didn't know how to do it myself. Thankfully, I chose that second one. So I spent the next 2 years really working on exactly these things. I changed my entire support staff. I had I probably had like 140 staff at that time that were out in the field, but I had a support staff of 7, and I replaced every one of them over the next 18 months. And the reason for that is because I hired differently as they were helping me grow my business versus I need you to be a leader and to help me get to the next level. Also changed who I was as a leader, because I was besties with my old staff, and you really can't run a business with besties. So I had to change even how I led these folks. And then I put in every system. So for every question that any one of my support staff asked me, I ended up writing a policy and procedure. And this is back in the binder days when you'd have that binder on the shelf with, like 200 pages. There's better ways to do systems now, but that is the same concept of I worked myself out of having to be there every day. I empowered my team to be able to make decisions. I wasn't cheap anymore, because I thought that the more I did, the more profit I would make, because I wasn't paying someone else to do it. And really what I was doing was being that bottleneck. I was keeping my business from actually getting to the level that it needed to be. And it worked. So it took about 18 months, a little over that. But then I got bored because I like building things. And so then I went and started other businesses while this was running. And I'd spend a couple hours a week just answering questions and making sure that everything was running and doing the finance side to make sure, watching the KPIs. Then I started another business in Florida and continued to build other little businesses. And then the point of this all is, one day I had a knock on the door that said, hey, we would like to buy your business. It runs by itself. It's profitable. It has all the systems in place. We could easily step in and run this business. I wasn't for sale, but I looked at that point in time and I thought, well, yeah, actually, why not? I've got some other things. I've got those other irons in the fire. But had I not upped the business like this, I would not have got top value for that, right? So these are the reasons why, even though you're not thinking about building or selling, you need to be thinking about selling from day one, because it's actually even more common nowadays. Strategic acquisitions is a way for you to grow, where you would buy someone else, but also more business owners are doing that to really grow their business. Now more so than 15 years ago. 10 years ago? It was 2015. I don't think about what I sold. So it's very common for you to possibly get a knock on the door, and you want to be ready, especially if it is the top value, right? Because the way that businesses are valued is not just on financials. It is on exactly these things. And I can go into more detail if people have questions about that. I just don't want to bore you or take you down the wrong path if everyone understands how businesses are valued. But it's really on the profitability, and then there's a multiple that, depending on how independently it's run, the leadership, the growth, and all those, that multiple can be higher without having to change your financials. So you don't have to do more. You just have to have a nicer, a prettier baby. That's about it. So that's why we want to talk about your business value and build it so that at any point someone could buy it from you. Protection. Talked a little bit about this. And this is the part that I would say 2% of people really think about, which is why it is part of everything that I do with owners. And it's not the first thing we look at, but it's definitely, just like value, it's right there in our decision making. And the reason for this is, speaking of my exit, I sold, about 3 months later, I canceled my business liability policy. I closed down the corporation. Everything was done, right? Like, money was in the bank. I was actually working for the new owners as a consultant. So I knew everything was legit and good to go. So I canceled my liability insurance. 2 years later, I all of a sudden got a literally knock on my door. I was being served papers for a lawsuit. One of the employees didn't remember that I sold. This wasn't one of my support staff. It was one of the field people who didn't really even know me that well. They named me and the new owners in the lawsuit for something that the new owners were doing. But I was named personally, and my business was named. Business was closed. But me as a person, I had to spend the next 18 months and hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney fees to prove that I was innocent. And I was proven innocent, but guess what? I still had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and 2 years of my time to say that I wasn't. And the one thing that could have protected me from that is called trail insurance. Who knew? Who knew? After you sell a business, you want to keep insurance, depending on how you sell it. But the new owners typically don't take on your liability for this exact reason. But even so, I didn't know about trail insurance then. So had I had trail insurance, because when I called the insurance company, they said, "Oh, that's lovely, but your claim is today, and you don't have insurance today," even though what they were claiming was a 3-year look back. And part of that 3 years, I was in business with this employee. So that's just one example of this. And another client who, multi-million, they actually had 7 figures of profitability. His wife didn't work. I met them after met the family after he had passed away. His business would have been worth generational wealth, but they had nothing in place. She knew nothing about the business. There was no next step for the key person to take over. They basically sold that business as a fire sale, just like you would a house that no one wants to live in. Nothing was really documented. And so because they didn't think about the what ifs, what if you get hit by a bus? What happens to your business structurally, financially? Are you just closing the doors? And then what happens for that key person? So if you have multiple staff, but you have someone generating all of the leads, or you have someone who does all of the ops and you're in a great position that you are not having to be there every day, but if they get hit by a bus, what happens to your business then? There's something called key person insurance, where if that key person gets hit by a bus, your business could actually have an insurance deposit that you could go hire 10 experts to fill that one person's role without you having to step back in. It gives your business money to be able to fill that gap really quick, right? And those are just a couple examples of the protection. Also, even if the structure, if something happened to you or you sold, are you paying exuberant amount of taxes? Or do you have it structured correctly so that you can pay capital gains instead of, ordinary income? And so these are the things where they're not necessarily need to be on your calendar today, because I'm sure you have other fires to put out, other projects to work on. But these are things that you should definitely put in your plan for your next, for the next 6 months, to start having these conversations. Have a conversation with those financial advisors. Have a conversation with insurance more so than just general liability. Some of these key person insurance, have a conversation with your tax strategist, not the guy who checks the boxes for your tax return, but an actual strategist, because of all of these reasons that you don't have control over these what ifs. And so we want to make sure that you, your family, that legacy that you're building is protected. And these are some of the short story wise how I can tell you of why you want to do that. This is where I don't pretend to be an estate planner or an attorney or a financial advisor, but because this protection piece is the core of, or part of the core of what we do, we have trusted advisors that we can definitely connect you with if you want that professional. And 5, the 5th lens of whether or not you're building the right business or the wrong business is legacy. What is that? What is the business ultimately making possible for you, right? What memories are you creating for you, for your young children, if you have young children? This is where some people I've heard by their conversations that I've worked with thought that traveling and working the 60 hours a work week and bringing in all of this money was what they were teaching their kids, like work hard and grind and look at the nice life that we're providing for you. The kids just want you there on their birthday, right? The kids just want you there at the soccer game. That's the part where I was missing when I was like, this is not working for me. But sometimes we get wrapped up in our own idea of what success looks like and our own idea of what we're teaching our family or our kids or the next generation or whatnot, or what we're going to be remembered as. So this is your opportunity to take a step back and say, what is it that I really am making in memories? What opportunities besides yourself and your family is your business creating? Is it a great employer for your community? Are you changing lives in some way? Like, who is it that you're helping other than you and your family? And really think that through. And then, as I mentioned, kids, I know this one was a big one for me, and a lot of the folks that I work with have families. And again, what is it teaching them? It's funny, I have 2 kids. I have 5 stepdaughters, but I have 2 kids. And one is all about being a business owner, and one's like, that's too much work. So I raised them the same. They were there when I was, building this business, but their personalities are different. But at least they saw me go through this and build this and make some of these choices. And they know every day that I do that for them. On a side note, that also, if you're married, have a conversation about what your finances look like and in this kind of legacy state, because I've noticed that some people want to build financial security that transfers down to their children, which is what I'm building. I'm building hopefully more money than I would ever want or need, because I want to make sure I have leftovers for my kids. Whereas someone else might be like, no, I'm spending it all. I worked hard for it. There's not a right or wrong answer, but depending on what you're building with your spouse, like they may have a completely different idea, and it's good to know. Are we building beyond us to the next generation, or are we building just for ours? Right? Good questions. So this is really the business. Again, if you leave with anything today, the question would be, would someone want to buy my business? And if not, why not? And those are the things to work on. The other 5 lenses, but the business should be your vehicle to get you to that, what I usually call is ideal life. But again, ideal life change is different for everyone, and your ideal life will change. I never thought that I would be in the position that I am today, but as we continue to improve our lives, that ideal life can change. But have that lens. What do I really want in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, depending on how old you are, depending on where you're at with family life, goals, whatever. So the business should be your vehicle to get you there, not your everything. So life vision, your 5 assets: time, money, value, protection, legacy, that we just talked about today. And then your business decisions and your daily actions are all around that core, and that core is the vision of your ideal life. Time, money, business value, protection, and legacy. Those are your 5 lenses. The goal was never to just own a business or have a job. I haven't met a business owner yet who hasn't said they started a business for freedom, time, money, freedom, impact, and to have that intentional life. I'm here to tell you, and it's one of my statements, that you can have an exceptional life and an exceptional business. You don't have to give up one or the other. Literally make a plan to have both. So we're going to take a couple minutes here so that you can take some notes, take some takeaways. Which of the 5 assets, the 5 lenses that I shared with you today, feel most solid? Also, what needs most attention out of everything that I shared with you today? That's right, Marta. Time. It's one thing we can improve revenue. We can't make more time in a day. And so what is that one decision out of some of those notes that you've taken today? Maybe asterisk, star, highlight, whatever. Maybe what would be really great is put it on your calendar to actually block off some time to think through these things. The worst thing for me is if you're like, gosh, she said so many great things today, and I have so many things to work on. And then by Friday, you're like, yep, I don't know. So I really want you to take the notes but more importantly, take action. So what decision can you really work on in the next 30 days? Color coding your calendar is wonderful, and make a block then of like, I'm going to review Tina's slides and go from there. Thanks, Neil. This was the wrap up. I want to also share something that you'll be the secret group that gets to learn this. I'm also building software that will help you make these decisions. It's an AI thinking partner for you. We're in beta stage, and it's been really freaking amazing of those who have used it so far, but we're doing more beta, and it should be available in fall this time. Do you want to be on the wait list or the list to have access to those early users? Because we're going to do a lot of discounts and some nice little freebies for those. You can scan this QR code. It's just your name and email, and then like what you would use an AI thinking partner. And the name of it is Spot, which this little cutie is right here.
Will you be able to send me the link as well so I can share it with the other people that was on the first part of the call? Okay.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and anyone watching this on replay will also be able to put their name in there.
Very nice. I love
so,
it.
I'm giving access before it goes to the public of anyone who I'm helping in the meantime.
I feel so valued now. We have insider information.
You have inside information. Fox,
you
cannot Google Fox Thinking Partner at all right now. It is not live. It is not open to the public.
Secret.
And also, obviously, I'm here for anyone who has any of those questions about building your own business. That's what I do. I guess I didn't even share that, but I'm like a business advisor, and or any of those referrals to the other professionals that you should have in your back pocket as well. So my email is there. You can shoot me any question that you want.
I will share those too, just in case.
Yes. For those we have on, I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has as well. This is my favorite part, is hearing what people need.
I was about to say you didn't open for questions, but I'm ready to throw them in. Something that was shocking to me, maybe because we already spoke about so many other things, but the trial insurance, and how do you know when you might do it and when you don't? Do you do it when you buy a business as well as when you sell your business? Like, if you can give me some 5 more cents about this.
Yes, it's called trail insurance, and it's like the trail after you sell. So everyone, I'd imagine, has a general liability or professional liability while you're operating. What I didn't know is that once I was, sold, it's not my business anymore, that I needed trail insurance for, your state might be different, but usually it's 3 years that someone can sue you for the 3-year look back. If you're selling, you want to know what that looks like for you, because most of the time the new buyers are not buying your company and transferring that. There is a way that they could buy it like that, but usually that's not the case. So you would want that protection as the seller. If you're buying a company, you would want to make sure that the owner, the previous owner, has trail insurance to protect them. And that's more of an education piece. You wouldn't be liable because you didn't own it prior to that whatever date. And so they don't have to, but they should. Matter of fact, there was a client that I worked with for several years that sold 2 years ago, and he was purposely looking to sell. And one of the buyers, the very first buyer that came along, filled that retirement gap. Like, the number actually was in the range that we wanted, but the new owner wasn't going to pay for the trail insurance. And the seller, my client, wanted that. He didn't, because it was to the tune of a couple $100,000 in their industry. It's a highly litigious industry. So we said no to that deal. And the next buyer actually included it in that package. So it's also something that can begin negotiating when you're buying or selling as well.
And I guess we're talking about mainly buying with cash all at once. If we do seller financing, does that also work?
It has the trail insurance doesn't matter on whether it's cash or not. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Very interesting.
Yes. Good question. Yes.
Does anybody have more questions? No? I think we got everybody checked out with so much information.
It can be overwhelming, but it's only 5 things.
It's very important. So it's overwhelming, but in a great way. So maybe
if nothing else, I like people to think 6 weeks from now they're going to be doing something and go oh, okay, this is I remember something Tina said that I need to be really focused on this and get more information. So
literally. And if you were in our situation, let's say that, I shake my hand, but nobody said yes, that they would buy their business the way it is right now. For example, I have 10 minutes, I'm going to use them. I have a service-based business. It's me, myself, and I. And of course, if I don't talk with the clients, it's difficult to keep up with the clients. I think somebody said in the chat that if I want to take 2 weeks of vacation, I need to work in advance those 2 weeks and those things. What is the first thing that maybe you would do in that situation?
Yeah. And I want to be clear, like, we don't open our business and then like automatically have a staff of 200, right? That's not realistic. But it'd be what is the thing? Like, you can go back to your calendar and say, what is it that I don't like doing? What is it that I'm not good at doing? What is inexpensive work? Those are some of the questions that you would ask yourself, because those are the roles or people, either people that you would hire or systems that you would develop to take those responsibilities off of you. But for me, marketing is like one of the, exactly. Not like doing it. And that was the very first hire in my very first business. Someone else can go out and do that. And granted, that was 26 years ago. But that's what what is it that you don't want to do? That's the first thing to hire.
So you can conserve your energy for the things that move the needle. And
Exactly.
enjoy.
We all have energy. I love doing this. I could do this all day, and really, really, like, it took me, 50 some years to realize I'm really a teacher at heart, even though I'm a business advisor. I want to train people, business owners, to know the questions to ask themselves and the things to think about, so that eventually they're just running it like a, well-oiled machine and can go start another business and structure it the same way. So, I love teaching. I don't love having to think about social media. So
fair enough.
It does not do that. Yeah, exactly. That would be so draining for me. So, but it's different for different people, right? Creatives love that kind of stuff and don't want to do their own P&L.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do that with my eyes closed. So it's really about you. Like, what do you not like doing or don't want to do?
Fair enough. Awesome. Oh my goodness, this was great.
Yes, I loved it. Any other questions? You can put them in the chat for those that are here.
Maybe they have them later and they email you.
Yes. Maybe I have some in my email already.
Maybe. Tina, this was fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm not the only one that filled 2 pages of notes. So
probably start out like, oh, this is good, and then, oh my gosh.
Yes. At the beginning, I'm like, okay, I follow, and eventually I'm like, oof.
I do have, actually, I'll give this to you for a follow-up too. I have a freedom in finance assessment that can give you that same feeling of oof, because you're rating yourself on how you feel about some of these topics, but it's a great baseline. So again, you're not supposed to know everything. Otherwise, everyone would be in business because it's not easy. Yeah. But this was only 5 lenses, and it really expands it so that you can even take that as you'll get a result from that, and you can show the biggest area that needs improvement. So if today you're like, I'm not sure where I should even begin, that freedom in finance assessment might really help hone it in for you. So I'll share that with you.
Thank you so much. Awesome. I mean, I'm sure that even the people who couldn't make it, they'll be like, wow, that's a lot, in terms of like a good way. Yep. Like they still get to do it. So thank you so much. Honestly, It was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it too.
I did. I loved it.
Awesome. And I guess a lot of people already left, but thank you all so much for joining. You'll be getting the recording if you joined too late or you left too early. And as Tina offered, if you have any questions, please reach out to her, and we'll see you all inside the community. See you in the next. Bye, everyone.